Okay, hello dear students. Welcome you to the consultation, which was prepared by me because I was asked by Ministry of Education and Lithuanian Association of Foreign Language Teachers to give you some tips on your coming English state exam. And today we are going to speak about reading part. Yes, about reading part. And at first, I would love to share the screen with you. So that you could see what I prepared to you. At first, I would love to introduce myself because you don't know me. I also don't know you, but it's not the problem. Okay, so I am Edita Liutkevičienė. I have been a teacher of English for more than 20 years, and all this time I was working, and I'm still working in Lietuvos Juozo Lukšos Gymnasium, and every year I teach graduates. It means school leavers, students like you, yes? So I think that I have enough knowledge and experience to share with you some tips how to pass your state exam, and especially how to go smoothly through your reading part as well as you can, or as we say, with flying colors, yes? So at first I want to ask a rhetoric question, and I really don't need your answer. What is a reading test? One of the parts of your exam is reading part, and it is very important part because it evaluates how well you understand everything what you read in English. And that reading test is called written comprehension test. So all the words are very important because everything you read is written, and everything you read you have to understand, or in other words, to comprehend, because comprehension test shows how well you are ready to understand or comprehend what somebody writes. It could be the letters you receive from your friends, emails you read in the internet, also different magazines, different books. But now we have to concentrate on different texts which will be given to you for your reading test. Most often our state exam consists of 25 questions and limited time given for them, and that test measures your reading comprehension. As you all know, exam consists of 4 parts, and I want to show you the paper, which you already know, that reading part consists of 4 parts. Most often, from year to year, students are given 4 texts to read, but this year, I am not sure, probably it could be even 5 texts, or maybe 5 texts, nobody knows. And as you can see, and I am sure you did a lot of preparation with your teachers, yes, on reading tasks. And most often the first task is matching headings, yeah. There is one more task where you have to fill in the gaps with the words given, which is also not so difficult. One more text is for reading and inserting some extracted sentences, and not necessarily. And the last one, this is from last year, is summary. That text, or this part of the text, was kind of novelty last year, and we are really not sure that this year you will not be given such a test. So now I want you to try one reading task, because I am here not only to give you some tips, but also to let you practice some thing, yes? So now I want you, everybody, to use one code which I give you and join Google Classroom, because the task is given in Google Classroom. Also, at the same time, I will be able to share the text on the screen, but I know from my practice, from my students' practice, that it is very difficult to read from computer when the text is shared. So now I ask you, follow this link, join Google Classroom, and there you will find text 1. Now please follow this, use this code in Google Classroom, and somehow give me a hint or a clue that everybody has the text. Even just tell me that you found the text or no. Okay, so now students, I give you only 10 minutes, because when we do this text, we will discuss it, and later on, tips will follow how to pass your reading test as well as you can. So now 10 minutes for doing that reading, and we will continue. Time starts. Now, students, are you ready? Have you got your answers for the first part of the reading test? Students?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can you see my text on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So who is very brave and would tell us what was the first thing you did when you got the text, the task? What we should do in the very beginning when we get the task?
Read the task.
To read the instructions. Everybody read the instructions which are given before the text. So it's essential. You have to read the instructions. Okay, later on I will talk about that. This text is the very first text, which is called matching headings, yeah? And I think everybody knows that the heading is the main idea of the paragraph in the text. And I guess you did well. So who would tell me what is the answer for the first one? Which heading? What is the main idea of paragraph 1? My students, who would tell? Okay, you don't want to reveal your secrets. Okay, I will tell you the answers, and we'll go on to explain the tips how to succeed in a better way. So number 1 is heading E, a source of inspiration, because in the text you can see some sentences, and exactly in this place, rocking horses have been at the center of Stevenson family. Yes, and the paragraph talks about what inspired those brothers to start making rocking horses. Uncle James and other things. Number 2, the heading is C, which is named Gaining the Expertise. It is written in the paragraph. The main idea is that Tony went to do apprenticeship work, yes, and everybody of both brothers wanted to gain some experience. The main idea is C. Paragraph number 3, the answer is G, taking the risk. The sentence which says, we're stupid to give up proper jobs, all people thought like this. It shows that they really took risks to become very famous makers of horses. Number 4, the heading is A, satisfied customers. Client list is surely testament to this thing. And also the sentences, always look for the sentences, yeah, which prove the main idea of the paragraph. Paragraph 5 is heading B, attention to detail, because in this paragraph, it is written how they paid very detailed attention to horses' head, ears, posture, everything. And the last one is F, which is responding to clients. And again, this paragraph and the sentences in the paragraph show us that they very had a lot of clients, and clients were happy to be able to buy the horses they dreamt from their childhood. So this type of text always appears in state exam. I mean, matching headings to the paragraphs. And now you can see how well you succeeded. In order to succeed much better, I am not asking now how you succeeded, but I guess that you got the correct answers. The main thing is read, please, the instruction at first. Then read the whole text and read the headings. And when you have to match headings, look for the same idea expressed in different way, in different sentences, to match the heading which is given as a task. Now let's turn on to our presentation. Okay. So reading test. And why I gave you 10 minutes? Why I gave you 10 minutes? Because timing in your exam is very important. You already know that only half an hour for listening, but 60 minutes for reading test. And if, as you know, there are 4 parts or even sometimes 5 texts in reading exam, so just divide 60 minutes into 4. It is almost 10, 12 or then 13 minutes if there are the 5 texts. So 10, 15 minutes for one test, not more. And I guess that the first test I gave you is the easiest one, because you just look for general main idea of short paragraph and match headings. But still, if it takes 10 minutes, probably you will have a little bit more time to devote to the next part of reading. So if the first part is easier, so don't waste time, but still 10 minutes and not more. Always before starting reading test, after reading the instruction, and when you know how much time you have, always follow the clock on the wall or your personal watch. You have to know how much time you have for the whole test. It's essential. Also, at first, when you are given the test during exam, look how many texts do you have to read, and then count how much time you can spend on every single text. Also, work out how much time you can spend for rewriting the answers onto the answer sheet. Yes, because you will not give the whole paper to your assessors. You will be given answer sheets, and you have to leave a few minutes at the end to check your answers. So timing is very important for succeeding in reading part, because during your listening test, you are just given 2 times to listen. It takes 30 minutes, that's all. For reading, you are given 1 hour. And it depends on the amount of text and your ability to read. But still, timing is very important. Next, you should know in advance how you have to present your answers in your exam. And I already mentioned that you will have a draft where you can write and mark your answers, but your real answers, which will be assessed by computer, will be transferred by you to the answer sheet. So if you know it now, it's okay. But if you don't know what to do, so it also consumes time. So knowing that you have to transfer your answers, be sure that you still have a minute or two to rewrite your answers. Also, you should know where to write those answers. So I guess everybody saw the answer sheet. I hope your teachers showed you the answer sheet where you have to present your answers. And 2 or 3 minutes for transferring also are very important. Next thing, you should know how many points you will be given for the correct answer. So in our state exam, it's very easy. 25 points. It means 1 point for every correct answer. There are different types of exams. Probably somebody of you have taken IELTS exam or PTE, so there can be some other numbers for correct answers. But in our state exam is 1 point for 25 questions. So in total, it means 25 points you will be given. Also, you should consider everything when you read, okay? But as it is only 1 point for 1 question, you have to be aware that you should do all your best to get all 25 points. And I guess you will do that. Wrong answers. Yes, sometimes it might happen, and even me, if I do some reading tests, I'm not also the person who knows everything. Nobody knows everything, and we all make mistakes. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Yes, you would say, aha, teacher, it's easy for you to say. We have to succeed in our exam. But students, what I am talking about, if you are not sure about the answer, sometimes it's okay if you guess. In reading exam also, never leave spaces not written with the not written answers. Never. If you are not sure, sometimes guess, especially in the reading test with multiple choice questions. Write any answer if you are really not sure and have really big problems with the answer. Because if you leave the answer, the gap blank, computer will take it as a 0 and you will lose points. Okay, now I asked you, what is the first thing when you start doing reading text? For example, I gave you this text, number 1. At first, you need to read the instructions because reading skills for reading exam are very, very important. Read the instructions and don't rush. Don't be in a hurry when you are reading the instructions and the questions. Take your time and make sure you understand exactly what you have to do. Sometimes it might happen, for example, that my students say, okay, I know this text. Yes, I know what to do with this task. But sometimes in the instructions, it can be written, 1 heading is not necessary, or probably it could be written 2 headings are not necessary. So if you read very quickly or don't read at all the instructions, you probably will make mistakes and you will regret doing that after. Yes, so don't be in a hurry and really understand, comprehend what you are reading. So instructions should be read very, very carefully, every word by word. Also, when you go to the question task, you are able to underline the key information in the question which you need to answer. Because as I said, you will be given kind of notebook with all tasks, and you can write there whatever you want. You can make notes, you can underline, you can do what you want. So underline the key information. And also always check after you do any piece of reading task, check that you have answered the question correctly. Don't rush. Okay, now I want you to do one more task, because why to speak if not to try? So again, go into the same Google Classroom. You will find one more task, which is called Arctic Passion. And this is the reading the task, which is called multiple choice questions given for the task to complete. So please read the text, read the instructions, and mind all the tips I gave before. Later on, I will do and will give more tips. But now I want you to do this reading text. So let us say not 10 minutes, maybe 8 up to 10 minutes. Please do, just let's practice. Now, okay. I think let's not waste time, but let us look at this type of text. This text, students, is called multiple choice text, yeah? And I want you now to tell me, number 7, what would be the answer? Anybody, students? How did the writer feel when he stopped for a meal? Again, I will tell you the answers. The writer felt disappointed because here we can read frustrating. The day had been particularly frustrating. So look for kind of synonyms in the text. Exercise, question number 8, the answer is B. Number 9, the answer is B. Line 27, it is a dot on the horizon. Number 10 is C, 11 A, 12 C, 13 D, and 14 A. So that is the text which is called multiple choice question text. And I think it's not so easy to complete because you are given 4 possible answers. And most often, 2 of the answers are not necessary. And always students struggle between, for example, A and B. And what to do then? You have to read one more time, or even for third time, the part of the text, let us say first paragraph, just to be sure that the answer is A. So, as you can see, we have different texts for your reading task. And again, for every task, 10 minutes, not more. Later on, thinking before reading. It is very necessary to think, because you should use everything what is given on the page of the reading test to help you in reading exam. Some possible clues, some possible pictures, headlines, or paragraph headings. So even questions for this multiple choice question reading task also can be like clues for you to guess the answer. Also, when you are given the task to do, for example, like this Arctic Passion, you can predict what the text is about. Yes, if the text is called Arctic Passion, probably we will be reading about some events happening in Arctics, and also probably some animals met there. So prediction is also of great help. When you read the article, the name of the text, you think, what do you already know about the topic or subject? Use your own experience, what you read while preparing for exam, what films did you watch, your background knowledge and your experience really will help you to understand the text. The title, headline, or pictures are helpers for you while doing reading exam. Probably you might tell me, oh, there are no pictures in reading tests. Nobody knows. In our program for students to be taught English, it's written different types of texts should be taught to students, and if there were no texts with pictures, so it doesn't mean that they are not going to appear in this year's exam. Also, you have to identify the type of text. Is this the text or kind of newspaper article? Is the text taken from internet, or maybe it is kind of advertisement or a story? And if you understand and are able to depict the type of the text, it will also help you to do better while doing the task. Now, what are the strategies? Different strategies can be discussed when you start doing reading tasks, yes? And I guess teachers also taught you. One of the strategies is skimming. For example, skimming is very important for the reading task when you are asked to match headings with the paragraphs, because the first time you read the text very quickly and you can get a general idea. Your eyes follow the text from start to finish. Even sometimes for skimming, you read the first sentences of every paragraph and you get the general idea of the whole text. So skimming is very good, I think, for getting a general idea of the whole text, and especially when you have to do reading task, matching headings with the paragraphs. Scanning is the first time you scan a text quickly to find specific information. Your eyes should move quickly all over the text, and you scan to find some names, some places, numbers, or dates. As you read the text, you can circle those numbers, dates, and names. And I think scanning is good for the texts which we did already. I mean multiple choice text, because when you are given, for example, the question, and if there are some numbers, you can scan quickly and look for numbers and be much quicker in doing the reading task. Next strategy is reading for details and specific information. Always you read the text not once. And when you read the text for the second time, you read the text and you will be looking for details and very, very specific information. You should read then, while reading for detail, slower and more carefully. Read parts of the text again and again just to grasp the thing you need to complete your answer. There are always one or two tricky questions in exams. So if it happens, so students never panic, never panic. It's done on purpose. But if you stay calm, if you believe in yourself, and I guess you all really believe in yourself, you are really ready for your exam, never panic if there is a question you don't understand or can't find the answer. If it is such or so, and you appear in such situation, you have 1 hour for reading test. So leave that complicated question and come back at the end of your reading test, I mean. Don't waste a lot of time on difficult questions you can't answer, but still leave it until the end of the test, and later on, never leave blank spaces. Okay, when we start reading test or doing some task, always we are questioning, where is the answer? So that finding the answer while reading test is the main objective in a reading exam. So these tips also might be of great help to you. Usually, questions refer to information in the text in chronological order. For example, the first question refers to information at the beginning of the text. The second question refers to information in the next part of the text, and you go down and down. So chronological order is always in the reading task. Also, find the paragraph in the text that is connected to the question. Don't look for the answer in the paragraph which doesn't speak about the feelings of the writer, yeah? Look at the paragraph which is connected to the question. Read the question again and then return to the text to find your answer. Underline, highlight the parts of the text that help you focus and find exactly the right answers. As I mentioned, you are allowed during your exam to use pens and to write any notes, underline, highlight anything you want, because answers will be transferred onto the answer sheet. Yes, reading task and reading test deals also with the vocabulary issues. And there will usually be some words in the text that you don't understand. And even in the text I gave you on Arctic Passion, if you read very carefully, it was written below, exam tip. It was written, ignore any unfamiliar word unless they are necessary to help you answer. So we all don't know all the vocabulary. We just studied English. You studied for 12 years, I studied a little bit more, but still nobody learns and knows all the words in English. So don't worry, it's the first thing. You do not need to know every single word to understand the text and to answer the question. Use context to help you understand the meaning. Read the whole sentence and the sentences before and after. That will help. Also, you have to think, what type of word is it, which you don't know? Is it a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb? It also can help you grasp the meaning of the whole sentence. Does the word have positive or negative meaning? Also, look for synonyms in the text. There are texts where the words are used with their synonyms. Well-written text full of synonyms, because you are also asked to use more synonyms instead of repeating the same word during your exam, oral exam. So if you don't know the word, it may be a synonym or another word in the text. Also, topic. Topic is very important. Think about the topic. Which words do you know related to the topic? If you read the text on Arctic Passion, maybe you know some vocabulary from geography. Maybe you read some texts in English for geography or history lessons. So think about the topic. Unknown word. Is the word similar to another word you know? For example, birth is similar to birthday. So look for the relations between words. Is the word similar to a word in your language? Maybe there are some. So it will help you not to lose the main idea and not to panic when you don't know the word. Exam reading tasks. You were provided with 2 different tasks, but there are much more, and nobody can guess what tasks will appear in this 2021 English state exam. Matching headings, yes, we already did that. Multiple choice, we did that and tried, yeah? And as I mentioned, 2 of the options are quite similar, and some of the options are just out of the context. One more task can be true or false. So what to do then? If you need to choose true or false, you have to read the sentences in the exercise very carefully, to use what you know to work out if the sentences are true or false before you read the text. You can guess, because your guesses always should be proved later on by reading more in a more detailed way. Underline the part of the text that has the information. Find evidence from the text that tells you that the sentence is true or false. Don't leave a true-false question unanswered, because you have 50% chance of answering correctly. Also, sometimes you have to answer true, false, or doesn't say, or even the task is with the words NG, which means not given. So doesn't say or not given options are usually more difficult but less frequent. If it is said doesn't say or not given, it means in the text nothing is said or given according to that question. Don't guess that, yes, probably it is this way. You should look for information in the text. Don't believe your, let us say, your common sense when it comes to reading. Okay, open-ended questions. Yeah, this is not very easy type, and you should here in such a task find out if your spelling and grammar is perfect, because if you are given to answer open-ended questions, you will be penalized if there are some grammar or spelling mistakes in your answer. You should be writing in a perfect way with perfect spelling and grammar. One more difficult task is putting paragraphs into the correct order. But for doing such kind of task, you should read all the paragraphs before deciding on the correct order. What helps us decide which paragraph follows which one? Look for linking words. It's very, very important. And discourse markers that express the same idea. For example, look for the words to, also, furthermore, and in addition. I'm sure that you know a lot of linking words. Also, look for the linking words which express a different idea, however, but and others, which express reason and result. Lots of words, yes, as you can see on my slide. I don't need to read them. You can read on your own. Sequence or order, first of all, initially, but it happens quite rarely, because if there are a lot of linkers for sequence and ordering, so it's really easier to put the paragraphs into the correct order. And also look for connections between paragraphs. What I mean here, look for reference words. For example, if one paragraph talks about the lady, Ruta, for example, look for the next paragraph, maybe reference word she or her will make you sure that that paragraph should follow the paragraph talking about Ruta. It's kind of example. So reference words are very, very important and of great help. Missing sentences, one more type of reading task. What to do here? You have to read all the sentences taken out of the text. Read then the text. Match the sentences with the gaps you are sure about. Then read the sentences before and after the gap carefully. there will always be a link between the sentences and the missing sentence. Again, reference words are very important. What do they refer to is the question you have to find the answer out. There may be also extra sentences which you don't need, but remember, there will always be a link between the correct missing sentence and the text. Reference words will help you. Vocabulary in the text. Sometimes you have to do the text, and I will provide you with one today, when you have to answer the questions using and finding the necessary vocabulary words to fill the gaps in that sentence. So again, you should think about the context. Context can help you. Topic also can help you. Is the word related to the subject of the text? What part of speech you should be looking for? Noun, verb, what part of speech in the text you are looking to? Does it have a prefix? Yes. Does it have a suffix? Is the word similar to another word you know? Yeah, and so on. And one more thing. Sometimes there are given questions to do some tasks where the question is asked, what is the writer's opinion? Or what is reader's response? And you all know that one of the texts during reading test is quite difficult. And at higher levels, you may be asked to consider the writer's opinion or to give your own opinion about the text. So text number 4 or number 5 always is the most difficult one. So to find the writer's opinion, some words, some sentences, some even collocations can help you. And here comes the knowledge which you have and your teachers gave you for writing opinion essay. All the sentences which express opinion are of great help. In my opinion, I believe, yes, I agree that, in my view, all these sentences in the reading test can help you to find the answer about writer's opinion. And now I want you to try kind of more difficult reading texts. Please go to Google Classroom. You will find reading exam from 2017, part 4. And let us try doing that, because there you will have to find some words. I mean, this text is for finding vocabulary things. So please go take the text. I am going also to share on my screen. And again, not more than 10 minutes for doing part 4 vocabulary reading test, okay? Okay, students, just to save time, I guess you read the text, and I will show you now where are the answers for the questions you are given in the text. So, question 43. We have to look here in this part for the adjective. Yes, for the adjective, because here we have noun. And the adjective is in line 4 in the very first paragraph. First paragraph, line 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have obvious milestone moments. So this is the answer for this part. They are obvious milestone markers. 2 words possible. Next question. He was skillfully able to So it means we are looking for a verb, yes? And even here is a verb. So let's go to paragraph 3. Oh, sorry, for paragraph 2, line 4. Paragraph 2, line 4, and here we find the word to retain, which is the answer for the question 44. Now question 45. The filmmakers a gap nearly everything. So what do we need? We have a subject, but we do not have a verb in this sentence. So we go to paragraph 3, line 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, line 3. What happened? Everything else is entirely animated. So the answer is animated, because what is the distinctive feature of the film? The filmmakers animated nearly everything. And in such a way, you have to do this reading test. And now I will give you just answers. For 46, it's the word marvel. 47, it is genuine in the last paragraph. 48, sound investment. Next is stunning, and the last one is to propel. What concerns the last question, here we need the verb, but it might happen, as I mentioned earlier, that you do not know the word to propel. So you should use everything you know about filmmaking, everything to use context and sentences around this word to propel and guess its meaning. So its meaning is drive into particular situation or to make it move forward. That is why the word propel comes as an answer. Also in the word sound investment, yes, it is in the sound investment. Again, I know the word sound, yes, but here the word sound is like an adjective. And if I don't understand what does it mean, again, the context or some other ideas related to investment might help me. So sound investment, it means effective and reliable investment. That is the way you have to deal with such tasks. Such tasks were very popular until 2020. And what happened in 2020, one more task appeared in your reading test, because never ever such a text was given. I mean, reading for summary. So now please, in your Google Classroom, again, the last text. Let's do it quickly. You have to read the text and to complete summary of the text. That task appeared last year, and we can guess that this year it also could be in your reading test, because you are promised to get a little bit more time for the exam, and I guess nobody is going to change drastically the format of the exam. So please let us do the last reading test. Okay, students, I will give you the answers, but I want to pay your attention to such kind of texts. As you read the task, it is written. The words should not necessarily be taken from the text. Use one or two words only. That's the point. One or two words, not more. And words can be sometimes possible 3, 4, or even 5 words instead of one gap, but you should write only one. So if you read the text, now you have to complete the summary. The summary is given and you are looking for the words. So all over the world, it's easy, I think. Yeah, here we can see passive voice, so by, preposition by. Achievement about creating Flintstones is what kind of adjective? Fantastic, wonderful, remarkable. All the answers are possible. Here, years are written in the text. Almost or nearly 40 years, because in the text is written 38 or 39 years. Flintstones and their neighbors. In the text, it was not passive, but here we need passive because it's written by. They were approached by screen gems with the idea. So everything is in the text. You just have sometimes to choose the grammatical structure or to find the synonym, but everything is in the text. And such type of reading task, I think, is also not very easy because it asks from you a lot of good knowledge of vocabulary. So, as you can see, a lot of different tasks, lots of tasks are awaiting for you, but still, I guess you will do it with your best effort and you will pass your exam with flying colors. So thank you, students, for your attention, for spending this almost 2 hours with me. Really, I am not the prophet. I just gave you the tips which I give to my own students, and I think they will help you. The more consultations, the more preparation, the better results. So I wish you good luck in your exam. Bye, students. Thank you.
Bye.